Welcome to another episode. With Unit 5, let's learn more grammar. Take a look at the pictures before you. How would you describe them? Beautiful, amazing, dazzling, or incredible? Those are called the adjectives. Adjectives are words we use to describe a person, place, or thing. They describe the qualities of nouns, such as opinion, shape, color, material, size, behavior, origin, or number. Now, when it comes to adjectives, we have two types of adjectives. We have the short adjectives and long adjectives. Let's take a look. Short adjectives, for example, big, tall, and small. Whereas the long adjectives, we have beautiful, dangerous, expensive. Now take a look at Mary. Mary has very long hair. Long is considered a short adjective. Cold, it's going to be a cold night. Cold is a short adjective as well. I am looking for a small cat. Small is a short adjective as well. Messy, your desk is messy. Let's tidy it together. Now switch into long adjectives. For example, dangerous. Playing with electricity is very dangerous. Margaret is wearing a beautiful hat. The food tastes delicious. Now let's move on to the comparative and superlative of adjectives. Take a look at the people before you. I'm 13, I'm 35. If we're going to compare between them, we're going to say she is older than the 13-year-old girl, whereas the old lady is 70, hence it's going to be the oldest. Joan is tall. Jim is taller, but Jack is the tallest. When we want to compare two or more nouns using short adjectives, as in one-syllable adjectives, we use the comparative and superlative forms of the adjective to show the comparison between the nouns. For example, I have a big dog, but Sally's dog is bigger. Big is a short adjective form of the comparative. These are used when we are comparing two nouns and need to show which noun possesses the adjective in a greater or lesser amount when compared with other, bigger, sweeter, cleaner, etc. Another example. I think task 1 is easier than task 2. The cupboard is cleaner than before. Now let's move on to the superlative short adjectives. Mark lives in the biggest house in our neighborhood. This form is used when three or more nouns are being compared. We usually add the article the before the superlative form. Hence, it's going to be the biggest, the sweetest, the cleanest, etc. More examples. Notice the difference in the height between the girls. Anne is the tallest girl I have ever seen. I think August is the hottest month of the year. Now let's take a look at the table before us. It shows the difference between the comparative and the superlative form of short adjectives. For example, the base form of the adjective is cold. With the comparative, it's colder. With the superlative, it's going to be the coldest. Now we have some irregular adjectives. Let's take a look at them. The base form is good. Now if we're going to use it to compare, it's going to be better. Whereas with the superlative, it's going to be the best. Now let's check your understanding. Choose the correct answer between brackets. Anne is the smartest student in her class. Take your time to think. Anne is the smartest student in her class. Correct. The English teacher asked Anne to participate in the Best School Project competition team. The school's project was good, better, best than any other project. The school's project was better than any other project, although it was the simple one. The project, although it was the simplest one. The school's principal was so happy, and thanked the whole team. The school's principal was so happy and thanked the whole team. Excellent job. Now let's move on to the form of the comparative and superlative of flowing adjectives. Read with me. I think math is difficult, but I think physics is more difficult. But I think French is the most difficult subject. When we want to compare two or more nouns using long adjectives, as in more than two-syllable adjectives, we use more and most to form the comparatives and superlatives. Read along. Painting is interesting. Taking photos is more interesting. But cooking is the most interesting hobby. Traveling by train is exciting. Traveling by ship is more exciting. But traveling by plane is the most exciting one. Let's take a look at the table. Take a look with me between the comparative and the superlative form of the long adjectives. The base form is difficult, whereas with the comparative is more difficult than, or with the superlative, it's going to be the most difficult. Now let's take some exercises. Choose the correct answer between brackets. It is known that winter is colder, the coldest, cold season. It is known that winter is the coldest season. Very good. Spring is the wonderful, more wonderful, most wonderful one. Spring is the most wonderful one. Correct. The beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful birds sing nicely and the flowers blossom in an amazing way. The beautiful birds sing nicely and the flowers blossom in an amazing way. Correct. One more. Active, more active, most active people take the chance to do physical activities during springtime. Active people take the chance to do physical activities during springtime. Excellent. Now let's move on to using as. Take a look at the two boxes. Box A is as big as box B. Joe has short hair. Dan has short hair also. So, Joe's hair is as short as Dan's hair. More examples. Joe is 11 years old. Dan is 11 years old. So, Joe is as old as Dan. Sarah is 120 centimeter tall. Dan is 120 centimeter tall too. So, Sarah is as tall as Dan. Joe is very smart. Dan is also very smart. Joe is as smart as Dan. Now the structure as is used to compare things that are of similar qualities. Example, Joe is as careful as Dan. More examples. Your computer is as new as mine. Your dress is as expensive as my dress. Your sister's hair is as short as your hair. Your home is as far as my home. Now Jenny is 20 years old. Mike is 17 years old. So Mike isn't as old as Jenny. Let's talk about the as in a negative form. The structure not, as is used to make comparisons between things which aren't equal. For example, my car isn't as fast as yours. Oman is hot. Kuwait is hotter. So, Oman isn't as hot as Kuwait. Movies are interesting. Books are more interesting. So, movies aren't as interesting as books. Playing video games is good. Exercising is better. Hence, playing video games isn't as good as exercising. London is a big country. Mexico City is bigger. London isn't as big as Mexico City. Now let's take more exercises. Do as shown between brackets. Today is windy. Yesterday was windy also. Join using as. Today is as windy as yesterday. Very good. Camels are big animals. Elephants are bigger. Use as. Camels aren't as big as elephants. The tomato soup is delicious. The mushroom soup is also delicious. Join using as. The tomato soup is as delicious as the mushroom soup. Correct. My car is expensive. Your car is more expensive. Join using not as. My car isn't as expensive as yours. Very good. Now, on completion of this episode, we learned how to use comparatives and superlatives using short adjectives and long adjectives, as well as all adjectives for comparing things which are equal, using as, and all adjectives for comparing things which are not equal, using not as. See you soon. Thank you for watching.